Hello everyone! As you know, this year I am going to Disney World and it is a lot of work to plan this vacation. So I thought that maybe this week I could help anybody else out there who's trying to plan a Disney World trip with my Aubrey's Walt Disney World Planning Guide. Here we go. For me, the first step is always figuring out when to go. This is hard because I'm from California where the weather is pretty consistent, but when you go to Florida, you have to take all those things into consideration. So first is weather. Pick your favorite time. If you're okay with humidity, go in the summer. If you're okay with cold, go in the winter. You also gotta watch out for hurricane season. Weather plays a big part in deciding when we wanna go. The next thing we consider are the holidays. You don't wanna go around any major holiday because it's so crowded. We don't do well in crowds, so we try to stay away from crowded seasons. But you also want to think about if you want to see it at Christmas time, at Halloween time, during the Food and Wine Festival. So check out all the kind of special events that they have going on throughout the year, and if there's one that you want to see, you try to book your plan somewhere around that special event. One of my top times to go is when they're offering the free dining package. If you're trying to save money, wait for these dates to come up because it is a huge money saver if you can go during the free Disney dining plan times. Finding out about the free dining is kind of tricky. You got to do a lot of consistent research and refreshing and clicking and calling and checking the blogs. My favorite blog to use when planning a Disney vacation is Disney Tours blog. I'll leave you a link below because he has a great list of when to go. Like, he will tell you the crowd levels, the weather, everything. Check him out. This is always my first stop when I'm planning my Disney vacation. So another factor is the crowds. If it's your first time, you kind of want to avoid it just because there's so much to do, and if it's not crowded, you can do so much more. So try to go when it's not crowded. Like, if you do want to go for Christmas, don't go on Christmas. Don't go anywhere near Christmas. We went end of November, beginning of December, perfect crowd level. And you get to see all the holiday stuff, no problem. So think about that if you do want to go on some sort of holiday. Step 2, how to get there. If you're driving, this isn't an issue. If you have to fly, we decide when we want to go, but we're kind of flexible on the dates. We start looking at the days that are cheaper to fly, and we pick our dates based on the flight prices. When we pick our dates, the flights aren't always available yet, so we end up booking our hotel kind of based on the general time we want to go, and the Disney will let you shift your reservation a few days later, a few days after if you need to. And we have done that before when we realized the day we wanted to go is the most expensive day to fly, and so we pick a cheaper flight and shift our reservation a little bit. No problem. Another thing to remember when you're flying in, Disney World has checkout times just like every other hotel. You check out early in the morning and you check in late in the afternoon. So you don't always want to fly the red eye and get here super early and not be able to check into your hotel for hours. I mean, you can leave your luggage and go to the parks, but sometimes it's nice to just get to your room and regroup. So I suggest always kind of flying in midday or late afternoon. So the next part of planning, which maybe should come before flight, but oh well, is deciding how long you want to stay. There are 4 parks, and I recommend at least 1 day in every park, especially if you've never been here before. And then make sure you tack on a day or 2 just to go back and do the things you missed or do your favorite things again. I tend to go for at least a week. This year, we're going with some first timers, so we are gonna stay 8 days, and I could not be more excited about it. There's so many places to eat and so many attractions, so many shows. You want to check out all the hotels. There's also the water parks. There's just so much to do. The more time you can spend there, the better. But if you've only got a handful of days, make it at least 5. I promise it will be worth it and you will not run out of things to do. So now maybe the hardest part of planning your Disney vacation is deciding where to stay. Okay, so let me start with your options. So there's 3 different levels of hotels: deluxe, moderate, and value. So deluxe is like cream of the crop, Grand Floridian, super fancy. expensive hotels. Moderate is the middle, and third is value. Now these are gonna be like super affordable. If you don't care about where you stay, stay in a value resort. With these 3 different levels, you get what you pay for. So Grand Floridian has the nice toilet paper, All-Star Resort has the crappy toilet paper. Like that's the level, different levels that you stay at. Deluxe resorts, you are right there in the parks. You can pretty much walk to a park. Value resorts, you're guaranteed you're gonna have to take the bus. The bus system is fantastic. It just takes a little bit longer to get to the parks. Our favorite park is Epcot. So we tend to stay at a resort where you can, within walking distance to Epcot. So this is gonna be like the Boardwalk, Yacht and Beach Club. These are kind of our favorite ones to stay at because it's our favorite park and we just kind of wanna just get there. And you can get pretty good deals on these hotels sometimes. You just gotta keep your eye out for it. You never know. And when you're staying at a Disneyland resort, you have access to all the other hotels. So if you love a pool at a different hotel, but you just can't afford to stay there, you can still go to that pool. Like you can use any facilities at all the other resorts. An option I have never chose to use, but can be more affordable. It's staying off-site of Disney World. Now, you don't have access to the bus systems. You're gonna probably have to rent a car. You don't get the Magic Band, which is my favorite part of going to Disney World. And for me, the convenience of staying on site completely outweighs the value for an off-site hotel, especially since the value resorts are so cheap. Our trip this year for us, we have 5 adults, which is kind of an odd number because most rooms come with like 2 beds. With that 5th person, we really had to think outside of the box of where we wanted to stay this year. The options were kind of like the villas, but we realized we didn't really have enough people for that. That is a great option for bigger groups because you have the kitchenettes and the multiple rooms. Since we are staying for so long, we thought that 5 adults with 1 bathroom for 8 days could kind of get a little tricky. So we opted for more of like a suite. Like I said, most rooms have 2 beds. So if you've got a family of 4 or a couple couples going, there's always usually a pull-out day bed, which we thought maybe was a good option for us, but then we went back to the 1 bathroom. So it was either a villa, a suite, or 2 rooms, which sometimes if you're at one of the value resorts, the 2-room option can be better. It gives kind of people some privacy, you get more space, and you're still probably paying about the price you would of a suite. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video is how to book your Disney World vacation. I think the very first year we went, long time ago, we went through a travel agent. Back in the day, that's what you do. Travel agents are how you booked your big family vacation. Nowadays, with the internet, you don't need that. I 100% recommend you just log on to the Disney World website and book your vacation through that. It's the easiest way, and if you're not tech savvy, call Disney World and book through them. We kind of do both. We will book our stuff online and then call to make any sort of changes, and we always ask the cast member, whoever we're talking to, like, hey, do you have anything you recommend? And that's how we learn about new fun restaurants too. You can use booking sites. I've seen kind of package deals for Disney World. I've never done that either. So I can't say one way or the other if I would recommend it, but it is an option. It's usually the off-site hotels, which is, if that's your thing, do it. It is another option way to book, but I 100% recommend booking through Disney World. That is how I start my planning process at Disney World. I hope this was a helpful start. So this is only part 1. Look out for part 2 next week. It's going to be very exciting. We get to talk about dining and fast passes. That's it for this week. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and I will see you guys next week for part 2 of Aubrey's Disney World Planning Guide. Aubrey, you just got your tax refund back. What are you gonna do next? I'm going to Disney World. Isn't that what you're supposed to do with tax refunds? Go to Disney World?